Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I come under Order 43, personal explanation. By the indulgence of the Senate and the leave of the President of the Senate, a senator may make a personal explanation, although there be no question before the Senate. But no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor may debate arise upon the explanation. The terms of the proposed statement shall be submitted in detail to the President of the Senate when his leave to make it is sought. Mr. President, I discussed with you that I will make a personal explanation in the Senate with respect to the most important event of yesterday, the International Children's Day, celebrated across our nation. Mr. President, even though today is 28, but I believe that as a Senate, and indeed legislators at this level, we should be concerned with the situation of our children in Nigeria. Mr. President, while the celebration, the parades, the cultural shows and activities took place yesterday, what we have before us remain the challenge of giving our children the kind of treatment that they deserve. The challenge also remains of ensuring that they are groomed to be the leaders of tomorrow. Distinguished colleagues, today we have over 14 million children out of school, and 42%, actually almost 45% of our population is between 0 to 17 years. And with the kind of treatment that we give to the education of our children, this population will continue to be a burden. This population will continue to be a source of insecurity to us, in addition to not adding value to national development. I therefore believe that the time has come for us to talk to ourselves and any major stakeholder in this country, in government, that we have to really be brave and courageous enough to address the problem of children going to school. Mr. President, we legislated on the health sector by giving 1% of the consolidated revenue fund. And today we are celebrating that there's going to be so much resources to develop our health sector. I believe that the time has also come to give something significant to education, especially for basic education. And that captures right from kindergarten to junior secondary school education. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I've consciously decided to bring to our attention, and indeed the attention of major stakeholders, what the provisions of the Universal Basic Education Act 2004 provides for the education of our children. And Mr. President, with your permission, I want to read some parts. Am I permitted? Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, Part 1, Section 2, Subsection 1 of the Compulsory Free Universal Basic Education Act 2004 provides every government in Nigeria shall provide compulsory and universal basic education for every child of primary and junior secondary school age. Subsection 2 provides every parent shall ensure that his child or ward attends and completes his primary school education and junior secondary school education by endeavoring to send the child to primary and junior secondary schools. Section 3 provides the stakeholders in education in a local government area shall ensure that every parent or person who has the care and custody of a child performs the duty imposed on him under Section 2, Subsection 2 of this Act. In fact, subsections 4 and 5 provide even for penalties for parents and for parents or guardians who refuse to send their children to school, and also for any government that fails to provide the learning environment. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I believe that the major source of insecurity today in this country is the probably neglected section of our society, particularly those that are not going to school. Our children of the age of 16, 17, and even 18, when they become adults, have been found to be involved in insurgency and all manners of criminal activities, including drug abuse. So I believe that it is time for us as a government to walk the talk provided for in the compulsory, free and universal basic education that we have consciously as a parliament passed in 2004. This Senate may be winding up, or indeed this National Assembly, but I still feel we owe it a duty within the remaining lifespan of this National Assembly to continue to hold discussions and where possible go on to legislate to ensure that our children are not left in the streets. The next National Assembly should really commit itself to ensuring that this basic education thing that is supposed to be free is implemented to the letter. Because whether we like it or not, people who are not in school are prone to all manners of influences and even criminal activities. If we are fighting crimes or insurgency, we must be looking at the sources of recruitment. The recruits are there. Someone of 17 years of age who is supposed to be in school is out of school, roaming the street. I also believe that even though it's a bit controversial, but the time has come for us in those states where the Almajiri system has been established for over 100 years to consider and see how we can work out a system that will make sure that this Almajiri system does not continue in the way, manner, form and shape that it is today. Because we need to bring people on board while not doing anything to tamper with religious learning. We must be able to provide an environment, a climate that is conducive for these children who roam the streets to go to formal schools without compromising their learning for religious benefits. I believe that this is going to be a
society, not only to ensure that we see that all our children have the opportunity to go to school and make it mandatory for parents. Must ensure, it must be mandatory, and I think we need to work towards that at all levels, at national level, subnational level, to see that it is not just rhetorics of free education, but parents must be held responsible to ensure that their children must go to school. And secondly, more importantly, of course, we've passed some bills here to try and even improve the amount of funds available from UBEC. We've reduced the percentage of contribution to states just to ensure that it is possible to access funds at the UBEC level. I think a lot of work has to be done with the new governors who are coming in. And no matter what we can say at the national level, this is purely something that for effectiveness, it has to be driven at the subnational level. And we owe it to the children to see that this area, we see a great improvement, because unless we address their education, we will not prepare them for the challenges that we have in the world globally. It is the greatest asset of any nation, is the education and that of our children. So once again, we celebrate the day, and we make it also a day for us to remember our responsibilities as representatives of the people to do our best to make the future better for our children. Leader of the Senate.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Very respected and distinguished colleagues.